firstly, I think there's a lot of noise in the oil and energy markets. I think people have to recognise that every single member of OPEC wants a deal to be done. Iran wants a deal to be done, Iraq wants a deal to be done, Saudi Arabia want a deal to be done. If you're producing 4 million barrels a day at, say, $50 US a barrel, versus producing 4 million barrels a day at $70 a barrel, that's a massive impact on your bottom line without any additional cost or expenditure. So everyone wants a deal to be done, despite what the media might say. It's really a question about jockeying to try and maximise the amount of production that they'll be allowed to produce under the quota system once the deal is finalised and the oil price does re-rate. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that we've always been positive on the oil market because if we got the short term wrong, i.e. if OPEC didn't do a deal for whatever reason, then medium term we've got a safety net or a backstop, because in the last 2.5 years we've seen a 15 to 20% drop in capital expenditure year on year. So the supply side is going to struggle to keep up with demand over the medium term anyway. So that gives us a bit of a backdrop, if you like, or a backstop. In terms of Santos specifically, look, we think the Chinese are really smart. It's a sort of thing that the future fund or large industry super funds should be doing, where they can take a time frame longer than 5 minutes. It is difficult for a lot of fund managers these days who are assessed on daily, weekly, monthly performance to be buying these long life, long-term strategic assets. But some of the industry funds really should be building cornerstone stakes as the Chinese are doing now. So we think that's very smart what they're doing. In terms of where it goes, we're a little bit unsure. Traditionally, the Chinese are not passive investors. They build stakes to get acquisitive. In the case of Santos, it's hard for us to see that the FIRB, the government / the retail public, will allow a Chinese conglomerate to take over what is one of the largest producers of gas to the domestic market in Australia, because they could substantially impact the retail pricing. So we're struggling to see what their end game is. The most likely scenario is that they'll hold that investment, and as the oil price inevitably recovers, they'll probably flip it for a much higher price. So, as I said, difficult to see what their exact end game is, but I think it's a smart move nonetheless.